only you can change your own world. And now that you've discovered us at the Institute of Practical Learning, you too can watch and learn just how to do it. Welcome to this first smart watching and active listening session, where we start the process with Corbin as he goes up the learning curve.
Oh no, it's on. Okay.
And how long does it last? Does it?
It should last ages. I've fully charged it this morning. The microphone.
So we start straight away.
It's already going. The microphone requires a AA battery, but I'm pretty sure it's a new one, so it should last.
Let's start straight away. I asked you how long does it last, and you said ages. Now there's two ways of answering questions, either in a quality way or a quantitative way. Okay, so in a qualitative way, you said ages, all right? But in a quantitative way, what does that mean?
Nothing, really.
Exactly. So quantitatively, I asked how long. Usually, how long is measured in time. It's a time question. Okay. You've got different sorts of questions, like who, what, why, when, where, how, and how much, and how long, and how this, how that. So the question is, how long does the tape thing last roughly?
That question is challenging Corbin to think before he speaks. As you have grown up through childhood, school, and maybe even university, you've developed ways to defend the fortress of your mind. And what we want to do now is help you learn from smart watching and active listening new ways to extend the comfort zones of your life. We want to take you into a new dimension. Now, to do that, you have to be an active participant. You have to make notes of how you are progressing and set goals for yourself. So we recommend you start a book or start making notes, however you like to do that, and record what you're seeing and how you are making progress. In this first video we show you, we highlight the importance of giving a number with units if you're answering a question, or well-chosen and descriptive words. And there are many other aspects you need to develop when you're talking and listening in the world of work, which starts with you becoming more aware of your own word choices. So watch and listen, and let's go for it. We're going to help you develop your 4 intelligences: your emotional, your social, your practical, or AFI as we tend to call it, applied functional intelligence, and also make use of the academic intelligence that people have been so keen to help you develop in your school and university. So good luck with it.
4 hours.
There you go. Okay, because to me it might have meant 18 hours or 4. It could have meant anything.
I'm hoping it will last the duration of this session, is what I meant by ages.
Okay. So I asked you to look into basically what you wanted to get out of this.
Yeah.
This session and this whole series of conversations.
Written it down.
Brilliant. I was thinking of I'll tell you what my goal is for a start. It's not I'm not going to use goal. My purpose is I've been working with young people for many, many years, or what would be a better thing. That's qualitative, many, many years.
Yeah.
At least 10 years. That's that. Quantitative, okay? And I've delivered a lot of lectures. I've run a lot of interpersonal courses. I've counselled young people, some of them quite troubled about where they are, who basically have had a lot of opportunities in life. So I feel in the society we are in now, in 2017, the American sort of educational system and the British educational system, it's all aimed at privileged young people with different motivations, some of it driven by the need of the university or the school for its own credibility and its own funding. There isn't enough focus on fulfilling the aspirations of the young person. So I'd like to change that, and I'd like to give young people from all over the world the opportunity to learn the soft skills, as they're generally called, which is to do with interpersonal dynamics and all that sort of thing. And maybe even establish some kind of curriculum, or just as a university would do. It's like a course for people to take, which wouldn't be like an ordinary academic degree. It'd be a set of knowledge and skills which would empower them to take control of their own lives. I'm hoping to use you as student number one for what in my mind might be called the University of Life, or the School of Hard Knocks, or whatever.
Right, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
So that's where I'm coming from. Now, my perception of your position is you've had a pretty good education at a school in Bath in England, and how old are you now?
18.
18, okay. So you've just taken some exams, which normally young people take if they've had the opportunity to have as much education as you have. And I set that in context because education in a lot of the world is a real privilege. And parents have to pay for their kids to go to school in a lot of countries. Most countries, in fact. And a lot of parents, they may be farmers and that sort of thing, and they give up a lot just so their kids can go and be educated. And what you find when you teach young people from around the world is they already know education's a privilege. But people in the West, and especially people in the UK, I've found, look at education as a bit of a burden. And that's because they didn't get asked, they didn't get a choice. Their parents told them they had to do it. And in fact, the law of the land says they have to do it. It's illegal not to send a kid to school or provide a kid with some kind of education. So the society has perceived that it wants to have an educated public. The problem is, society has decided what you're going to be taught. And what you're taught is what's good for the broader society. It's not necessarily what's good for you.
Yeah.
You're 18 now, so you've had 14 years of the system pushing into your head what it thinks you need to know. And needs and wants are very different. And it's what the system needs you to know, okay? It's not what you need to know personally, and it's not necessarily what you want to know. So that leads me to my question, which is, here you are, 18, just done a bunch of exams in maths and physics and that kind of thing, okay? So what do you think you need to know, and what do you think you want to know?
I think...
Or do you want to think about it? Or is that, you can just give me a spontaneous answer and then...
No, I do.
And then we dig into it.
Okay, I think I need to know how to effectively communicate with other people.
Just had a thought. We could video now. Okay, shift the flowers because they're nice, but they're not relevant.
Slightly distracting, aren't they?
Although beauty is relevant to everything.
Being able to express your needs and wants and purpose accurately is very important to empowering yourself and getting what you want from life. So what we're going to do as an example is take what Colby has just said when he wants to effectively communicate with people, and we're going to drill down into that in a more work speak, business-like kind of way so that you can see the value of being more precise about how you express yourself.